Welcome everyone. I am working on getting chat to load in the iPad. In the meantime, if anyone is interested in buying the Thunder, I do have that as an open team. Basically, here's what happened. Everything's sold, and then I promptly got messages from people who had 3 different teams who said, hey, guess what? We don't have the money to pay for that. So I don't really understand why people bid when they know they can't pay for something. But it happens more often than you would think. But 3 teams tonight, which is crazy. But nonetheless, that's what happened. 2 of them were already sold to the underbidders by way of eBay's second chance offers. And the Thunder is still available. So I'm going to wait here a second just to see if anybody wants that. And if so, I will get that invoiced and taken care of before we start the break. So we'll wait just a minute to see if anybody has any interest in that, and then we'll be getting started. Okay, guys, so is anybody interested in picking up the Oklahoma City Thunder? Again, that's one of 3 teams that were purchased on eBay. Then the people sent a message and said, hey, we're not really going to pay you for it. So the other 2 were sold to underbidders. The Thunder is still available. That total does include shipping. So I'm going to wait a couple more minutes here to see if anybody is interested in the Thunder. And if nobody comes forth shortly, then we'll just roll on without it. But I was hoping, of course, to sell it. Of course, it was sold on eBay, but then the bidder didn't want it. And oddly enough, here's something that's interesting about that. So the high bidder doesn't want it. The underbidder happens to be another person who had emailed me and told me, hey, I'm not going to be paying for my team. So that was the first 2. And then the third bidder just said no, they didn't want it anymore. So it was just kind of weird. But it seems like the first bidder and the second bidder in that were kind of messed up. That they, both had emailed me saying they weren't going to pay for their teams. Oh, Michael, you do want them? Great. Can you send me your email and I'll send you over a PayPal money request real quick. And then we'll get rolling with this. I'm also typing that into chat. And guys, if you hear this and you don't see chat and you're on YouTube, I think that you have to be logged into YouTube to see chat. I kind of think that's the deal. So sometimes if you hear me talking about chat, but you don't see it in there, that's probably why. So Michael, as soon as you can write in, or maybe I've got it somewhere, but I don't know where. There it is. I see it. Great. Thank you. I'm going to get this sent over to you. And this should come right now to your inbox. And if for some reason it doesn't, you should, I think, still be able to see it in PayPal, in your PayPal account if you're logged in. But it should also send to your email. So I'm told anyway. So I'm just writing in notes real quick. This is Thunder in Prizm break number 1. All right, Michael, I shot that over to you, and you should be able to see it. Let me get the spreadsheet updated, and then we're going to be rolling right along. Bum, bum. I'm just going to write it in this way. That way I know. As a second chance. All right, so I think that's got that sorted out. And let me get us back over here to the spreadsheet. Speaking of, so this is going to be a half case of 2017-18 Prizm Basketball, which means 6 boxes. Our eBay end date was tonight, December the 7th. Our live stream schedule also tonight, Thursday, December the 7th, 10 p.m. Eastern. Team names are on the left, winning bidders across from it on the right. You're going to see 3 teams in here that say second chance on them. And you know the reason why if you've been listening. if you were logged in when I started, you may have just joined, but I had some teams where the people bought them on eBay and then right away sent a message and said, hey, guess what? Not going to be paying for those. So, yeah. So thank you to the folks who picked up those 3 teams in the second chance offer. I appreciate you. Here's what's going to happen. This is a brand new case, so I'm going to open it up. And we will take out all 12 of the boxes in here. And then I will number them on the end, 1 through 12. And let random.org tell us which 6 we open tonight versus which 6 we will open in break number 2. And there's actually another case of this as well. I don't have it listed yet, but I believe that I'm going to break half of it on Monday night of the second case. I mean, the back half of this case is already listed. And then the first half of the second case, I'm probably going to do less than a 5-day auction. I'll either do a 1-day or a 3-day, but it will be at some point after the back half of this case breaks, which I think the back half of this breaks pretty soon. All right, they are finally all out. Let me just get them where we can see everything, and I can get them all numbered on the ends, and then random will tell us what we're gonna open tonight versus the next time. I just prefer to do it this way because that way, you know, if there are case hits or there's ever any question about, hey, you know, how did you figure out which boxes you were going to open in one break versus another? This is a nice transparent way to do it. And it looks like, that is weird. Something with my local recording went weird. I'm going to do one thing here, see if that fixed it. I think the live stream was still fine, but for some reason I got some weird message just popped up and said something about the local, you know, the backup that I record and usually upload then to eBay or to YouTube. Came up and gave me some kind of weird error message. Okay, so there are our 12 teams, or 12 boxes rather, and we are going to open 10, 6, I'm going to write this down, 10, 6, 2, 5, 7, and 8. So 5, 6, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10, what we're going to open tonight. Yeah, that is so strange. It is giving me some kind of weird error message about the backup recording that I have never ever seen before. So that's interesting. Well, worst case scenario, guys, if there's 5, 6, 7, and 8, now I need 10. If it is that really I have no locally recorded backup, if whatever that weird error message means that I'm not getting that, then there will still be a version available because YouTube archives a version. So I would just renumber that, and that's what, I mean, you know, retitle that, and that's what we would use. I do know that the background went out of focus there, guys. That is by design. That's also why I moved our boxes out of the way there for a second, because it throws off setting the focus. But basically I do that because I don't like all the zooming in and out, and I like to be able to look at the cards up close and see some detail on it. So yeah, Michael, this definitely went a little bit better than Ascension. I absolutely, well, let me put it to you like this. It will take me several months to make up what I lost this month. Not just on Ascension, but on a lot of stuff. Just did not do well this month. But yeah, I lost over $1,000 on the Ascension that I broke. So it was not a pretty product. I mean, it was a pretty product to look at, but it was not a pretty product to break, to say the very least. Yeah, this has been an absolutely terrible month in terms of even breaking even. No, it was not good. But Prizm, you are right, Michael. I did definitely come out with Prizm a little better than I did with Ascension. But Prizm rocks. I mean, you know, we all love Prizm. You can't go too wrong with this. So, of course, you guys probably know the drill. We are looking for 2 autographs per box. Now, Panini always says on average. And they say that because sometimes they will stick a Panini Rewards Point card in there instead of a hit. And if that does happen, we will auction off the Rewards Point card. Not auction it off, but we'll put it in random.org and random it off is what I meant to say, to one of the teams in the break tonight. And we may not get any of those. Hopefully we won't. I prefer to get our hits, but sometimes that's what happens. Now we're going to find lots of base in here, and anything that's just a straight base, I'm going to kind of buzz on through because there are a lot of cards in this break. So if it's just base, we'll keep on moving. If it is a Prizm, of course, which is also known as a refractor, we'll take a better look at those, as well as our inserts. We'll take a better look at them as well. Emergent for the Raptors is our first insert. Our first Prizm or refractor, whatever you want to call it, is Jason Smith for the Wizards. And then we have Jamal Crawford for the T-Wolves. That is numbered to 99. And then we're back to some more base after that. And these are a nice weight this year, and not, at least not on the face of it, not a whole lot of bowing up. An Emergent Justin Patton. You guys probably, if you're familiar with Prizm, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of times you take them out of the pack and they immediately kind of like, you know, get a little bend or a bow in them. These aren't as bad for that as some years have been. Jokic for the Nuggets. Dwight Howard for the Hornets. I think over the years they've gotten a lot better with being able to keep them flat than they used to be in the old days. Fundamentals, Russell Westbrook insert. Rajon Rondo for the Pelicans, what seems like his 100th team. There's a nice little Lonzo Ball. That one is not numbered, but of course it has the pattern on it and is a refractor or a Prizm, whichever you prefer to call it. I kind of tend to call it both, mainly because I find them so often in baseball, and of course Topps always calls them a refractor. And Panini always calls them Prizms. First out for one of our hits, or what I think is going to be our hit when we flip it over. Yep, Lauri Markkanen for the Chicago Bulls, which was one of our teams that the bidder didn't pay for, and we had somebody pick up on second chance. So, see, the universe is rewarding you for picking up that second chance offer. Thank you very much for that. Little Kyrie Irving for the Celtics, and of course, you know, you see him in the uniform for the Cavs because they didn't have any new pictures, but it's always going to go to the team that is designated on the card rather than the team that is on the uniform, if they happen to be different. Zach Collins for the Blazers. That was an Emergent insert and a refractor. Some of our other inserts were not refractors, but that one was. C.J. McCollum, Fundamentals. Jameer Nelson, refractor. Lou Williams for the Clippers, numbered to 99. And lots of base. Harry Giles, Emergent. Got us a little coach for the Blazers. Lou Williams for the Clippers. Basically, if I read out the name, that means it's a refractor or a prism. Although I'm guessing, unless I say, you know, insert. But I'm guessing you guys probably know all of that already from having done Prism before. You see that fun little rainbow of colors come across. Manu Ginobili for the Spurs. Whoops. Sorry about that. One got a little bit out of my stack there. Jason Tatum, just a base rookie. Fundamentals, Dragic. That was not a refractor, just an insert. Kent Bazemore for the Hawks. Nice little Frank Ntilikina for the Knicks. TJ Leaf, Emergent. Jarrett Allen, refractor for the Nets. Timofey, numbered 2, 199, also for the Nets. Even though he's in a Lakers uniform, of course he was traded, as was so many of our other players in the off-season. Kawhi Leonard, Fundamentals. Draymond Green, insert. Jason Smith for the Wizards, numbered to 25. Nice low number parallel on that one. And the Lakers are going to be on the board, but I know you wanted to start out with Lonzo, but what we have for you right now anyway is Larry Nance Jr. It's our second autograph hit out of this box. So Dante Exum for the Jazz. Jeremy Lin, that one is a refractor for the Nets. Of course, Court Kings came out yesterday too. Jay Crowder for the Cavs. A little Frank Mason III for the Kings, numbered to 199. And of course, I did not list a break for Court Kings last night. As you know, I didn't break anything last night. And I don't know, I just had like a feeling about that. And especially this time of year, delivery is always so dicey. And sure enough, UPS all day long yesterday showed it out for delivery, out for delivery. So, like, I didn't leave because I didn't want to miss it. I didn't want to have it sitting somewhere unattended because, you know, they'll just leave stuff right on your porch. They don't even care that it's the holidays. People come driving along, steal your stuff. And then finally, at like 8:30 last night, I go up and check the tracking again. And then all of a sudden it says, oh, yeah, exception. You're not getting it until tomorrow. So it didn't even show up until today. So I was super glad that I did not have a break last night because I would have had no cards. Because the UPS had them out on the truck all day yesterday. And then, I don't know if they just didn't finish the route or what exactly happened, but they had it on the truck all day long and then just never brought it. Just drove it right back to UPS. How strange. But anyway, we do get started with Court Kings maybe tomorrow night. I don't know. If it's not tomorrow night, it's the following night. But got a handful of cases of that to break. And then something else comes out next week. Might be certified or totally certified. Might be what comes out next week as well. I don't know. We got a lot of basketball to break in the days ahead. Plus the other case of Prizm, and then some loose boxes of Prizm, some first off the line Prizm. I got a lot of stuff hanging around here. Nice little Andrew Wiggins, Rudy Gay refractor, Klay Thompson to 99 for the Warriors. And I tell you what else has been weird lately, and I know because it's the holidays, but delivery in general has just been weird. Like stuff going to other states when the town is like 60 miles away, and I don't know, it has been bizarre lately. Frank Jackson for the Pelicans. A little Trevor Graham for the Hornets, along with Kemba Walker. And then today, the post office was supposed to come and do a pickup. Like, you know, they will often pick up for me in the morning, and then I'll drive another group of packages in the afternoon. So post office never came to pick it up today. So I drove it all up there before they closed. What should have gone in the morning, and then what would have been the normal afternoon shipment as well. Kristaps Porzingis. And get back home and, you know, fixing dinner. But somebody's knocking on the door at like 7 o'clock at night. It's the post office. He's like, oh, I'm here to pick up your stuff. I was like, for real, guy? I'm like, you're supposed to pick it up when the mail is delivered, which was at like 11 a.m. today. So I didn't think you were coming. So I drove it up there at like 6 o'clock. He's like, yeah, I think somebody forgot. They sent me back out for it. Well, too late now. Josh Hart refractor. T.J. McConnell to 199 for the Sixers. And so then the stuff I did drive to the post office all had scan forms. You know, all they have to do is like scan the sheet you take with it, and it automatically accepts all of the packages. That's so they don't have to scan each package individually, because they have been skipping those lately. So I moved to scan forms. And don't you know, they didn't even scan all my scan forms tonight. So irritating. Bogdanovic for the Pacers. Followed by Brook Lopez for the Lakers. So yeah, they've had some real, everybody has weirdness this time of year, of course, being the holidays, but it just seems to have been particularly brutal this past week. Julius Randle for the Lakers. So the Lakers with 2 signatures so far, but neither one the one that they actually want, sadly. Eric Gordon for the Rockets. Hakeem Olajuwon for the Rockets. That one is a Prizm. So I guess the moral of the story is sometimes your stuff may not scan right when it gets dropped off, and everything seems to be taking longer to be delivered than it should, but it is eventually all getting there. Doug McDermott for the Thunder. Domantas Sabonis for the Pacers. Speaking of shipping, I expect that this Prizm will probably ship to you on Saturday. TJ Leaf, Pacers. Iman Shumpert to 199 for the Cavs. John Collins for the Hawks. That one was not a Prizm, but just a regular insert. Robin Lopez for the Bulls. DeAndre Jordan, Clippers. Another nice little insert. DJ Wilson, Emergent. That one was a refractor. little Kyrie Irving insert, a LeBron James insert, Mark Gasol, numbered to 10. Nice low number for the Grizzlies. Donovan Mitchell Emergent. That one is not a refractor. That kid has been hot, hot, hot. Patrick Beverley Clippers. Clint Capella to 199 for the Rockets. And a little more base there. If you haven't done a break with me before and you're wondering where those cards go after we look at them, you know, I stack them back there in the back. But then I don't like that stack to get super high because there's just too many things that could happen. Something could fall over. They could fall over. I don't know. Anyway, at a certain point when I feel like they're getting high enough, I pick them up and move them over to my right. And I also have mats over to my right. That's the area I use for sorting. So your cards are always staying on a mat. They're not coming off of a mat. I'm just keeping them in smaller stacks over there, out of the way and out of harm's way. So this is our third box that I'm taking out of the wrappers right now. So after we finish looking at these, that'll be our halfway point in this half case. I wish I could remember when the back half of this breaks, but if it's not tomorrow night, it's soon. And ditto with Court Kings. I think, actually, I'm pretty sure all 3 cases of Court Kings are already up and listed. All right, same as before. We're just going to kind of buzz through our base and our inserts as well. Anything that is a refractor / prism. I'll read out the name on Mike Conley for the Grizzlies. I know the first couple packs, I think I read out the names of the people on the inserts too, but for the most part, I'll only read them out if they're refractors. Marcus Smart for the Celtics. So far, everything we've seen has been a sticker auto. I expect that's going to be the case throughout. Davin Reed for the Suns. Kemba Walker Hornets. Another coach as a prism. Brett Brown for the Sixers. That is numbered to 199, also for the Sixers. What do you guys think about Okafor headed off to the Nets? Think they're going to revive his career up there? Buddy Hield for the Kings. Patty Mills for the Spurs. I mean, they've had he's really just been doing nothing but sitting on the bench for quite a while, so I'm sure he's just happy to be able to go somewhere where maybe he can play. Dennis Schroeder for the Hawks. Andrew Wiggins for the T-Wolves to 75. I would imagine the Nets will probably give him a decent amount of time to play. TJ McConnell for the Sixers. Patrick Beverley for the Clippers. Forgot who else went in that deal, because didn't they send a couple and get a couple? They got a draft pick, like a second-round draft pick, and maybe a couple of players for Okafor. I think that's right. And, of course, that kid on the Suns that had the two-way contract, they converted him to a full NBA contract this week, too, I think. Devin Booker for the Suns. Raymond Felton for the Thunder. Tim Duncan fundamentals for the Spurs. Dwayne Casey. We're getting all the coaches in Prisms, aren't we? That's interesting. Dwayne Casey for the Raptors. Sabonis again to 199 for the Pacers. It's not really that unusual to see the cards for the coaches, but yet to see them with the refractor is a little more unusual. There is a Panini Rewards Points card for 600 points, so that did replace one of our hits. Let me set them. I'm actually going to set this over here. That is to remind me to give it out by way of random. A little Jeff Teague for the T-Wolves. Miles Turner for the Pacers. Frank Mason for the Kings. Gary Harris to 99 for the Nuggets. I guess we're back to base after that for a minute. Boogie Cousins, man, he has been like playing like a man on fire, hasn't he? For the Magic. Another coach, that one the Bulls with Hoberg. And that is our halfway point. That was our third box. At least that reward point card is a decent number of points, you know. 600 points is somewhat respectable. When they replace it and give you like those 150 point cards, that just makes me crazy. Well, honestly, the rewards points cards in general make me crazy. I prefer to have the hits. But if they are going to put one in, it needs to at least be a reasonably high number of points, I think. I don't know how many of you guys are also, and girls, if that may be the case, but how many of you are football fans as well? But they had an article, I think it was on ESPN today, on the ESPN app. It's either there or CBS Sports. Anyway, one of them had an article. They're selling tickets to the Bills game this weekend, which of course is supposed to be so cold. And it's the, I don't even remember who the Bills are playing, but it's somebody that is not like a particularly good matchup. You know, because the Bills in and of themselves maybe not super hot this year. Anyway, they're offering tickets for $4 a ticket and still can't sell them. Wilson Chandler for the Nuggets. Kevin Love for the Cavs. Whoops, did that have a... No, I guess I was just seeing things. I thought I saw a little white line on that, but I guess I didn't. Of course, it might have been the... something off the card. These cards sometimes give off, all these Prism cards always have, they like part of the card itself, like little white pieces of, almost looks like salt sometimes shows up off the edges of these. Numbered to 25, Buddy Hield for the Kings. Oh, the game, they're playing they're playing the Colts. Okay, I could not remember who they were playing. I just remembered when I read it thinking, oh, that's not a very good matchup, period, much less in like the cold weather. But your Colts have had a hard year, but that's because your guy's out injured. You know, you'll be okay when he comes back. Or really, I think you'd be okay with Brissett's as well if he has more time to learn the playbook and they give him a few more weapons to go with. That was Quinn Snyder for the Jazz, another coach in the Prism. Marcus Smart, Celtics. Oops, that's back to base. Yeah, someone offered me a chance to go to the Steelers game this weekend in Pittsburgh, which I would love to do, but A, I kind of already had breaks scheduled, which is, it's hard for me to work around that sometimes. Laurie Markkinen for the Bulls. And B, it's going to be cold as blue blazes. I looked up the weather. It's like, yeah, it's going to be like 20-something degrees at game time. Like, oh, no, I don't think I can do that. That's for the Cavaliers. Justice Winslow for the Heat to 199. Although, truthfully, if I didn't need to work and get some other stuff done, I probably would have done it anyway and just sat out there and freezed my took us off. John Collins for the Hawks is our signature hit, or one of our signature hits. Aaron Gordon for the Magic. Kemba Walker, fundamentals insert for the Hornets. Yeah, I did read that Andrew went to Europe to have something done or someone else evaluate his shoulder because obviously it hasn't come back right despite the surgery. But I didn't realize he'd never hasn't been heard from since. Mike Muscala for the Hawks. Oubre for the Wizards. He's probably, they may be having to do some cleanup surgery or something on it again. I don't know. But it definitely, I don't think, should have gotten sore like it did when he started trying to use it again after all that time of rehab. Gordon Hayward for the Celtics. A little John Wall to 199 for the Wizards. Yeah, it is kind of weird that that he hasn't made any kind of sideline appearances or anything. That really does lead you to believe that he's probably still over there. He's probably had some kind of procedure or something done on it. Wow, I used to be able to speak. Trey Lyles for the Nuggets, numbered to 10. That was a nice little hit for the Denver Nuggets. Of course, Trey used to play for the Jazz. He also used to play for my University of Kentucky Wildcats once upon a time. Justice Winslow, refractor for the Heat. Valanciunas for the Raptors, numbered to 49. But I really do think you'd be okay with Jacoby Brissett. He just, he had to come in without having any time to prep. And they also need to give him some help. He needs to have some other weapons that he can go to. A little Dennis Smith Jr. for the Mavericks. Base refractor, unnumbered. Andre Roberson to 199. Little Klay Thompson for the Warriors. Another coach. That is just crazy. Kenny Atkinson for the Nets, numbered to 99. I guess we're just going to have all of the coaches as refractors in Prizm this year. I mean, that would certainly seem to be the case. There's a nice little Lonzo Ball base rookie. There's Kyle for the Lakers, just a base insert, not a refractor. Harkless for the Blazers. Tobias Harris for the Pistons. And that was box 4 of 6 in the books. 4 down, 2 to go. I'll get it out in a minute. Oh, wow. I didn't know that Brissett's already been hit over 100 times this year. Like, I knew he was taking a beating for sure. Because, I mean, yeah, the O-line is a little leaky. But I didn't know he'd been hit that many times. Poor guy. But I guess we'll find out how well the Patriots organization gets them ready between seeing how Brissett develops or continues to develop, and then how Jimmy Garoppolo ends up with the 49ers. So the two Tom Brady understudies with their own teams to pilot these days. He was sacked 10 times in one game. Oh, man. That is awful. Seems like there's been a lot of injuries this year, not just in football and basketball as well. I mean, Devin Booker had that weird groin injury the other night. Anthony Davis has been just beaten to death. He's out with something all the time. Of course, Steph Curry turns his ankle. Kyrie Irving got whacked in the face. And, I mean, you know, Gordon Hayward busts up his ankle right off the bat. It just seems like every sport this year, basketball, football, everything, has just been a bad year for injuries for some reason. That's how it seems anyway. Iguodala for the Warriors. Melo to 199 for the Knicks. I wonder why they still had him for the Knicks in Prizm. That's weird. They should have known by then he was traded, you would think. I see Luke Kennard coming up for the Detroit Pistons. Continues to be all sticker autos. Oh yeah, that Hayward, Gordon Hayward, that was a terrible injury for the Pacers. Oh, there you go. There's a nice little Lonzo Ball orange refractor numbered to 49. Lakers like to see that one coming out, I'm quite sure. But been just an unusual number of injuries, it seems like. Or maybe I'm just somehow paying more attention to them. I don't know. Andre Roberson for the Thunder. Another Trey Lyles. That one numbered to 199. Then, of course, I guess by now everybody has... Oh, there's Carl Anthony. Yay. Love him. Dirk Nowitzki. Fundamentals refractor. Another Lonzo base rookie. So I'm sure by now everybody has seen that LeVar has decided that his two younger boys are going to play overseas. They have signed with an agent. So LaMelo will not ever be going to college, and LiAngelo not going back. Anunoby for the Raptors. That was another one of our little abandoned teams that someone kindly picked up on second chance. So there's the universe thanking you for that as well. David Fizdale for the Grizzlies. Luke Kennard insert for the Pistons. Yeah, I think he's going to have... I mean, LaMelo, I think, is widely considered to be a superior athlete to LiAngelo. I don't know how well LiAngelo's going to do. Moutier. Dion Waiters. In terms of getting to the draft, I mean. LaMelo, you figure, you know, as long as he doesn't go backwards, as long as he doesn't get worse, he should probably be drafted when he hits his time. Although, if you're not in front of scouts for that many years, I don't know. I think it's an odd choice, but then again, nothing about him is probably what we would consider ordinary. Yeah, I would say the trade has worked out better for the Pacers than the Thunder as a whole. I wouldn't disagree with that. The game, I think you guys are flowing pretty well at with the Pacers so far this year. Markelle Fultz, rookie refractor. We continue with our parade of coaches. This one, Earl Watson for the Suns, numbered 275. I think in general, the Thunder hasn't been as good as kind of everybody was expecting them to be so far this year anyway. CJ McCollum for the Blazers. Tyson Chandler for the Suns. But I guess it's all about expectations too, you know, because you expect the Thunder to dominate. You don't really have the same expectations for the Pacers, at least not in recent years. So part of it just may be what we've come to expect. Taurean Prince for the Hawks. Seth Curry for the Mavericks. But either way, I'd say the Pacers will be fine. You know, like most of these, you got a little rebuilding to go through, but nothing too bad. Ricky Rubio for the Jazz. Not as bad as some of these poor teams that don't seem like they'll ever see the light of day. Isaiah Thomas for the Cavs. And truly, I think we all expected the Lakers to be just a tad better than they've been up to this point as well. I still think they'll pull it together as they get farther into the season, but I certainly expected they would be a little better out of the gate than they've been. Nice little Jamal Murray, number 10 of 10. So the last in the series, you know how that thrills me. I always like the first in the series or the last in the series. For no real reason. There's absolutely no logical reason to think 10 of 10 is better than 9 of 10, but yet somehow that's what I always want, the first one or the last one. Justin Patton for the T-Wolves. Deladova, numbered to 99 for the Bucks. And a few base cards. One box left to go. We will recap our hits at the end after we go through this last box. So if you jumped in late and you missed some of it, you'll get a chance to see the signature hits again after we get through this final box. And then, of course, at the end of the break, we do have, as well as the recap, we have this little 600 rewards points that will be awarded by way of random.org. That's because it replaced one of our hits in one of these boxes, so that will be given out. And if you happen to miss me saying it earlier, I'm expecting that this will ship out on Saturday. There's always a possibility it could be a day earlier. There's always a possibility it could be a day later, which if it's a day later in this case would be Monday since there's no mail service on Sunday. But I did get a lot of stuff out today, so my expectation is it'll be Saturday. Now, how long it takes the post office to get it to you, well, that's another matter. I've had several cases of priority mail, which will say on it, guaranteed 2-day delivery. It'll have the date it's supposed to be delivered, and it'll not get there for 4 days or 5 days. And then I've had first class mail, which might normally take 4 or 5 days, getting there in 2 or 3 days in some cases. So it's just all over the map this time of year. Of course, it's that way every year. I don't know why I'm surprised. Somehow I think that they're going to get better every year, but it really doesn't. It either stays the same or gets worse. Nikolai for the Bulls. Patty Mills again to 199 for the Spurs. A little Wayne Selden for the Grizz. Dion Waiters again for the Heat. I say again, but I don't remember if the other was a refractor or if it was just a regular insert, but I do remember saying Dion Waiters a while ago, so I think it was probably a refractor. Chandler Parsons for the Grizzlies. Oh, crud. I set that on the wrong place. Shumpert to 99 for the Cavs. These are the ones I think we'd already looked at, but because I just accidentally set that other stack on there, I wanted to look at them again, make sure we didn't miss anything. Jason Tatum Emergent. That one is not a refractor, just an insert. Dwight Howard for the Hornets. A little Karl Anthony Towns for the T-Wolves. Another Lonzo base rookie went by. Nice little Kobe insert, not a refractor either. Corey Joseph for the Pacers. Reggie Jackson for the Pistons to 199. We're closing in on it. Taurean Prince for the Hawks. And once again, sticker auto on that one. Melo for the Knicks. CJ McCollum Fundamentals refractor for the Blazers. Kyle again for the Lakers, not a refractor though, just an insert. Lauri Markkanen for the Bulls. Seth Curry again for the Mavericks. Kyle for the Lakers. I still say that kid's going to end up being pretty good. I mean, he's already pretty good. I think he's going to end up being really good. And give him a year or two. Terrence Ferguson for the Thunder on the Emergent insert. It was not a refractor. Nicholas Batum for the Hornets. Valanciunas for the Raptors to 75. All right, let me move a little bit more base out of the way. We've got one little stack left. Now here's hoping we find some bombs in here. Or a bomb in here. I think we only got one signature left to find, don't we? Or did we find them both already? I don't think we found them both already in this, but I guess we could have. Jason Tatum, Luck of the Lottery. Draft insert. Celtics. And there it is for the Mavericks, Yogi Ferrell. Nice little surprise last year, how good Yogi turned out to be. Paul George for the Thunder. Bradley Beal for the Wizards. Sorry about that. Michael Malone kind of fell off the stack. I don't believe we have any harm to him, but he did kind of slide off the stack a little bit and onto the mat there. Andre Drummond insert, non-refractor. There's another Lonzo refractor. That one is not numbered, but it is the base rookie refractor. So a couple of Lonzos. I cannot say his last name, so I'm just going with Lucas for the Raptors. And then that is the last of it. So, before we recap our hits, let's deal with this guy right here. I'm going to put this in a sleeve so I can write on it, because in a second, I'm going to write who gets that. So here's the way we're going to do this. I'm going to take you along with me here as we work through the process. I'm just going to grab every team and copy it from the spreadsheet, and then we will buzz over to random.org, and let me get myself over here as well. Then I'll paste them in here, and I don't really see any need to do random multiple times with this, because I mean we've got 30 possibilities with every team in here. So I'm just going to hit random the one time. I'm just showing you all the teams are there. And whoever comes out on top is going to take home that 600 Panini Rewards Points cards. And that goes to the Chicago Bulls. I think that was another one of our teams that ended up going in second chance because somebody didn't have the money to pay for it after they bought it. So let's take a look. 600 Panini Rewards Points awarded to the Chicago Bulls by way of random.org. The Yogi Ferrell autograph. All these are sticker autos for the Dallas Mavericks. Taurean Prince for the Atlanta Hawks. Anunoby for the Raptors. Luke Kennard, Pistons. Trey Lyles for the Nuggets, nice low number, numbered to 10. John Collins for the Hawks. Marcus Smart for the Celtics. Julius Randle, Lakers. Frank Jackson, NOLA. Larry Nance Jr., Lakers. And Lauri Markkanen for the Bulls. So those were our hits. Of course, everybody's going to get something out of this break because there were loads and loads of cards. You guys just saw them all along with me. So definitely everybody's being sent a nice little package of cards from this break. As always, I thank you so much, guys, for bidding with me, breaking with me, keeping me company and chat and all that stuff. I hope I'll see you again on the back half of this case of Prizm or one of the many other things I've got listed. Always have a little baseball, a little basketball, a little football, and a bunch more to come in the days ahead. So thank you. I appreciate you. I will see you again the next time. Bye-bye.